All right, it's time, ladies and gentlemen. We're here. I've been lazy the past few weeks, but we got to do it. It's time to fix it up. So, in my amateur profession of welding kayaks, that I don't know much about it, but I do know that we got to take the seat, all this track out. You can see the cracks just right here on the inside of the seat. Flip it up, look at it right there. We're gonna want to get our structural weld on the inside since we can right here. Just try to put some plastic down here on the bottom, just so we can kind of add some plastic to it, keep it from happening again in the future. We're really gonna screw some holes in at the very end of the crack right there too, so we can hopefully keep it from spreading out and just keep it contained right there. Everything else looks solid. I'm feeling on the boat, the plastic around the crack feels solid itself. It doesn't feel like it's a very thin spot. Just hit a rock wrong. Happened. So we're gonna put our welding goggles on, make sure we know what we're doing. We're gonna get after it. I recruited some help. You guys saw in the time lapse I was really struggling getting that thing out, but he's here.
I pointed at it and then it came out. He
gave me good moral support. So we got this nice and out. With the liquid logic, you really want to make sure that you get, oh god, oh god, it's in there. These little nut pieces right here, you can see on the bottom, goes inside of the seat track. If you lose them, you're screwed. But we're down here to our shell. Got a nice crack. Time to drill some holes in her. So now that we got our drill, thanks Jim.
You're doing great.
I already forgot what it was. You could use a 1/8 bit, but I'm using the 7/64. It's a little bit smaller. I'm really just looking to end that crack so it won't split any farther, right? So you can see our crack goes all the way to about here. Right, I'm gonna go just on the end of it. Feels a little weird drilling holes in your boat, I know. Right to the end of the crack. Sweet. Looking good. Yeah, we got our thickums here. Oh yeah. That's not good for it. Sweet. Look, it's a party. It's a welding party. Hey! I'm gonna make a little party. It's not supposed to do that. That's not supposed to be there.
All right.
Whew. Cool, so we're here. Got our wire brush. We're on the inside. We're just kind of roughing up the area where we're gonna be. Trying to apply some more plastic too. It's not looking too good. It's gonna look better, I promise. Cool. So what I like to do is take a little razor blade, cut off some really tiny pieces right here. And what we'll do with these guys is we'll try to put them through that hole that we made earlier, right? So, flip this bad boy over so you can see it better. Might even be just a little thick. I might have to thin it down just a bit, or try to flip it around, try your other side. We want to try to get it through. There we go. Nice. Try to do the same thing on the other side. Kind of like plugs. Then we'll try to weld those down, kind of fold them over just so it plugs that hole. What you think, Jaybird? Correct. So before we flip it over, we got this thing nice and piping hot. We're gonna put our welding goggles on here. Make sure we know how to do this. And like I said, I'm gonna put that structural weld on the inside, but I'm just gonna kind of melt this guy down, just so it can kind of sit flat when we're trying to work on that inside. And we'll come back and add some more. As you can see, we're just kind of lightly. My tool isn't super hot yet, it could be a little warmer. I cannot stress this enough that I am an amateur and have no clue what I'm doing. But what Jay and I are thinking right here We're gonna go ahead and weld this down just together, just kind of smooth it out so when we flip it over to get that structural weld, we're not gonna be like pushing on that crack out, right? We just kind of want it to hold a little bit of, you can see when we push it together, it already kind of closes that gap a bit. So we'll see how it goes. So you can see I'm trying to kind of just like melt this top part, just kind of folding it over, just kind of filling in that crack. Like I said, we're just trying to kind of smooth it out for the meantime right here, just so we can push it over and put a little bit of resistance on it from the top. We'll come back and clean this up and put a lot more of that black plastic on top right there. It's gonna look ugly, but hopefully she'll keep water out and keep us on the chill. You know what I'm saying? So we get down in here, you can see our little plugs. We're just gonna try to weld those guys over as well. Kind of painting it along. You can see it's super important to make sure you're not huffing any of this plastic smoke. I've already lost 85 brain cells. You could be like me.
So what I did was open up the crack a little bit, took one of the smaller pieces of plastic and was able to fully fit it in the crack sideways. So I'm just trying to smooth the whole thing out.
No, it's looking good though. Looks nice and smooth all the way around. That's what you're looking for. There's no crack anymore.
Hopefully not. There is still somewhere.
We'll see. Yeah, we put a nice good smear on there. Just smeared it all the way around. Nice smear. After putting the smear on the inside, you can already see we got a lot of structure right there. Maybe a little weak spot right here, but we'll probably just throw an extra beer up onto the seat. You know what I mean?
Throwing another quick schmear.
Quick schmear
On the back end.
So what we're trying to do is really kind of trying to flatten out your edges right here, because we want them good and flush. Because if they're a little bumpy, I found it's a little more susceptible to water kind of leaking through. But if you kind of flush them out, it just kind of finishes it off. So I already kind of took this area where we welded here previously, just getting it a little bit warm. Taking our stick, just getting it nice and warm. You can feel it start to move around and adhese. Then you can give it that nice smear. Oh yeah, that nice smear. Just coating the whole area. You can use your welder to kind of cut it off right there. Make sure you're laying down those edges and we'll keep cruising. I'll say it again, I am no professional. Jay, on the other hand,
I wouldn't say that.
he's putting the smear on it.
Dude, facts. I'm doing that.
This video was about how to weld your kayak, but we're making a new video. It's called how to put
the seat in.
the seat back in the Stinger. We don't.
You can't do it.
It's impossible.